Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimble to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
And I'm Tyler.
And no Joseph over there. Joseph's in New York City, and he's in the chat. He says him and Deanna are...
Hey, Joseph.
They're resting their dogs before they go out for the evening.
Night on the town in the Big Apple.
Action-packed all the time. Yeah. That's good, though. The New York trip seems good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we are on our review episode. In this episode, we're doing something a little different.
Yeah, a little unconventional.
And conventional. We have just the two of us, me and Tyler here. Mm-hmm. And we are going to review Tyler's obsession. What's become an obsession is...
I wouldn't call it an obsession.
Yeah, I would. So we're going to be reviewing True Detective Season 1, the first half. So here's the trailer from the UK.
Do you wonder ever you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Well, you don't pick your parents and you don't pick your partner. A smart guy who's steady is hard to find. You know, I was steady.
How can you be sold on this?
This is a world where nothing is solved. There are broader ideas at work.
You ever see something like this?
No, sir.
Someone once told me that all your love, your hate, was all the same thing. It was all a dream. And like a lot of dreams, there's a monster at the end of it.
What does that say? Turd? Turd? Oh, True Detective.
Just what is it you found?
Something deep and dark.
Oh my God, how can you not be sold on that show?
It's a pretty good trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really fully conveys the vibe of the show.
No, definitely not.
A little bit more dark and whatever.
They had to draw in an audience, though.
That's true, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, True Detective, this is a anthology show where each season does not follow the last one.
Yeah.
There are some themes that may be similar, and it is in its fourth season, right?
Well, we don't really consider it the fourth season, really.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, because fun fact, the fourth season wasn't even supposed to be a True Detective season. It was supposed to just be called Night Country, and then they slapped the name on it because HBO was afraid that it would flop.
Yeah.
And it didn't, because everyone was clamoring for a new True Detective season.
Well, it's the original show, season 1, is all we're going to be talking about.
Yes.
And it's created by Nick Pizzolatto, and it is starring Matthew McConaughey and
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson basically as the main two leads.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into the rest of the cast, we have Michelle Moynihan as Maggie.
Michael Potts.
Woody Harrelson's wife. Michael Potts and Tori Kittles as the two interviewing them. Alexandra Daddario as Woody Harrelson's mistress. The most beloved Kevin Dunn as their superior.
Yeah.
And then there's a number of supporting cast members along the way that are all pretty great in their own right.
Yeah.
So here's the storyline. I'll give you just a basic breakdown. In 2012, former detective partners Rust Cole and Martin Hart recap one of their very first cases together involving a serial killer back in 1995.
Yeah.
So
that's the gist of it.
Yeah, so that's the plot of it. And Tyler has obsessed over this. How many times have you seen this season through? Don't lie, too. Be real.
3.
I know you were about to say 100 or something like that. Something stupid.
No, I was trying to give you an accurate number, but yeah, it was 3. I'm on my 4th rewatch right now.
So this is number 4?
Yeah, this is number 4.
I'm only 1 behind you then. I don't know how you seem to be like, it's like an obsession, you know.
I don't know how you mean. I don't know.
You talk about it for a while there until we started browbeating you to stop. You talk about it every week. Every week you're like, one of my streaming pick is Bubble Boy and True Detective season 1, episode 6. It's great. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Forever.
What a great impression.
That wasn't even an impression. But it's rated 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which ranks it up there with some of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
If you were to rank it on IMDb's top 250, I don't know where it would lie, but while you give your...
Probably in the top 100 at least.
Yeah, I suppose so. But as the series kind of went on, it lost a lot of the charm of the first season. And we had Vince Vaughn was in one season with Colin Farrell,
Yeah,
right?
with Colin Farrell. And then you had the 3rd season. I mean, I think it was season 1 basically ruined it for the seasons
After
like
it made it an impossible act to follow.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, essentially?
It was just impossible. Although, I mean, we won't get into, we're only focusing on season 1. I have a whole
That's
different...
okay. We could talk about the rest of it. It's not like we're outlawed from talking about it.
I mean, so yeah, it's just an impossible standard. I mean, like, even for any TV show, when people like go into, you know, true crime sort of aspect shows, everyone always refers to True Detective season 1. Oh, this is the best first season in television, modern television history. And so it's just an impossible like standard to meet, just because of the charisma and chemistry of Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, the pacing of the story, the balance of their personal lives and the ongoing case that they're working on, the effects it has on them on their personal lives as well. And really just, it feels overall cinematic in a way in which you don't really see that in television. Like, it feels like every episode feels like a short movie.
Yeah.
Just the way it's written, the way it's acted.
I think I'd probably say more like every 2 episodes feels like its own movie.
Okay, that's fair to say.
Because a lot of them, you're getting right to the edge of something exciting, and then it leaves you on the cliffhanger, which is kind of the point of structuring it like this. And I appreciate it too, because I feel like this could have been made into a movie, and it would have been great, but you wouldn't have been able to let these 2 characters really breathe.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I feel like the character of Rust is Matthew McConaughey, right?
Yeah.
What's the other character's name?
Marty Hart. Calls him Marty.
Marty?
Marty.
Okay.
Come over here. Marty, we got a break in the case.
Marty, we need to talk. So, and the other thing we didn't really talk about is directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga, or Cary Fukunaga, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah,
I like the name Joji, so I'm glad that they put it in there when he's listed on IMDb. Now, I don't know if it's every single one.
It's a majority of them, I think.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out as we go through these.
Yeah,
but yeah, Cary Fukunaga is a killer director. Yeah. And the show itself is so cinematic, with a lot of like great symbolism baked right into the cinematography.
The symbolism goes deep, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I just wanted to say that regarding the first episode, it comes right running out of the gate, it just hits the ground running, and it's in the very first like 10 minutes where it starts out. It has that ominous music, and it's panning towards.
Well, before even that, we get one of the best intros of any TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. T-Bone Burnett, I think is the musician there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this was one of the first to do that type of intro, but I've seen a ton since then that are very similar. It's like flashes of the characters, flashes of some of the...
what's to come.
Yeah, some of the details within the story that as you're watching it, you're like, that's interesting. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, a pair of stilettos on a butt. There was spikes on it.
Yeah.
Oh, a girl in a American flag bikini.
Yeah.
And then as the show progresses, episode by episode, you see those elements into the actual show that call back to the intro.
Yeah.
But also, I think the interest, like superimposing the faces of the two main characters within, the landscape that they're operating in, kind of feels like they're part of it. There's no, they cannot be separated from their lifestyle. They can't be separated from that. So I really like it. And then it reminds me of, have you seen Dark, the Netflix show Dark?
No.
It's a German show. It's about time travel and some other stuff. And
does that?
It has a real
intro?
similar, except it's more like a kaleidoscope. Like it's like mirrored on side to side, but it does the same thing where you're like, what the hell is that? What is that symbol? What does that mean? Who's that person? And as you watch the show, it all starts making sense. And you're like, oh, it's very, very intentional. It's not just a random hodgepodge of feel.
Yeah. I mean, right out of the gate, though, when this show starts, it shows this big man carrying a dead body in what's probably around 4:00 in the morning. You can tell it's almost sunrise, but not really. Like it has that bluish hue in the sky, but it's still dark.
I think they call that blue hour.
Blue hour.
Blue hour. Golden hours at sunset.
Yeah.
Blue hours at sunrise.
So he's carrying a body to this field at blue hour. You can't see any faces, and then it cuts to a field, like it's like this wide shot of the field on fire, and already you're just what is this? And then it comes to them finding the body, in the most theatrical way possible, with the girl's hands clasped,
like she's praying.
She's praying to an oak tree, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, an oak tree. And then it's a very like a religious, horrific sort of ritualistic style killing.
She's bound. She's been sexually assaulted, stabbed, and she has a spiral symbol
on her
written
back.
on her back, and she's wearing a crown of branches and antlers.
Yeah. But before we get to that, though, Marty was being interviewed. And what I think Michael Potts' character says, what do you know about, or what happened in 1995 or something like that? Yeah. Something along those lines. Where he's like, what do you think? What do you know about Russ Cole? What can you tell us about him? And then he starts recalling that first case, and then it cuts to them finding that body. And they called Rust the tax man because he had this huge ledger. While everyone had like little notebooks they would write in, he had the huge ledger he would carry, and he would draw evidence and crime scenes. And I really liked the transition from them being interviewed, because you don't know why they're getting interviewed either.
It's the script of this really is pretty fantastic, and I think I find myself the more I see movies that have multi timelines and it cuts back and forth between the two of them, it can either be a crutch or like a gimmick or a gag that doesn't necessarily work, and it's done for no reason. In Challengers, it worked fantastically. And in this, it really works fantastically because you see character growth. You see the consequences of a lot of the actions that the characters are doing in the 1995 timeline
to the modern
in the modern day. And you're like, wow, why does he look so different now? McConaughey's got this huge, wiry handlebar mustache, long hair. Looks like he hasn't slept in days. Chain smoking still. Never stopped chain smoking.
Yeah, never stopped.
Joseph says, since he's here in the chat, he wants to share that his 2 cents are that season 1 of True Detective is one of the greatest things ever put to television.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I saw a video that someone titled "The Greatest 8 hours ever created." I don't know if it's like that to that degree, but as far as a crime thriller sort of genre, if you look up crime thrillers or psychological thrillers online, you get Zodiac, Seven, Presumed Innocent, Silence of the Lambs, Prisoners, Gone Girl, Sicario, Shutter Island, Knives Out, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Departed, Training Day.
Those are all very great. Nightcrawler, I see there.
Yep, Nightcrawler. And you really don't see this talked about because it's not a movie.
Right.
But I feel like it should be in the conversation.
I know. I agree. I think...
Yes, it's 8 hours long. Who cares? You can watch 2 episodes a night, and it's like watching a couple movies in a row. This is almost the definition of binge-worthy content.
It is.
Because as you watch a couple episodes, you're like, fuck, where are they going to go? And who is the killer? And what does it all mean? And also, is she ever going to leave him? Is she going to find out?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting now that I'm thinking about it, how you say 2 episodes could be like one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because after watching the first half of this season for the show, I completely agree, because the first 2 episodes are really self-contained in some way. I mean, of course, like they're going to leave a cliffhanger at the end of each episode, but the story progresses in a way where the first 2 episodes are different from episode 3 and 4 because it starts picking up, and it picks up really drastically too, but in a natural way. It doesn't feel rushed. It feels like the natural progression of the story is very, it feels very natural. I keep saying natural. I don't know why.
Is it natural?
I think
it feel natural?
Yeah, it's natural.
Oh, okay. Like Natty Ice.
Ugh, God, no.
But you're right. The first 2 episodes is a lot of setup. You're getting a lot of from the characters. One thing I like on a rewatch is I noticed a lot more details about Rust, but they're not just. It's an example of almost too subtle exposition.
Yeah.
In a way, because I didn't notice a lot of the details on the first or second watch. This is my 3rd watch through of this season, which should say something too, because I don't ever really watch TV series at all.
Yeah.
I've seen Mr. Robot through 1 time and a half, and I'm going to try to finish that. That's 4 seasons. I've seen Blue Eye Samurai twice. What else have I seen? Breaking Bad I've watched through twice. And this season, this is only 1 season, but I've watched it through 3 times now. And it didn't feel like homework at all. I told Brianna what we're doing for the show this week and next week in Joseph's absence. And she was like, "Oh, hell yeah."
You know, this is it's a really good show to like rewatch, and then you put it away for like maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then just like maybe one day you just throw on the first episode, like, yeah, let's see.
And get sucked back in.
And then they pull me right back in.
Yeah. Well, she, as we were watching it, she's like, "Why can't every crime thriller be this good?" They can't all be that good because that's the reason why it's so good, because it just stands apart from the rest of them.
Yeah.
Not everything can be that fantastic, but I mean, the amount of care that went into it. So back to my comment about exposition that's almost too subtle. Rust in his 2012 interview says, "I remember when we found her, that was the anniversary of my daughter's birthday."
Yeah.
And Marty's not even barely paying attention to the crime scene. Like he's there, but he's not really into it.
He's just doing like the procedural stuff, and he's like really investigating it.
He's checking the boxes and whatnot, and he's trying to get Rust to agree to come have dinner at his house so he can meet his family. He's his
without knowing that it's the birth of his dead daughter.
Yeah, the birthday of his dead daughter. So he's there, and that's pretty much what his goal is, to meet this new partner he's got.
Yeah.
Get to know him a little bit more, meet his wife, because, you know, what he says, something along the lines of, well, you know, if my wife knows that you're supposed to be taking care of me and watching out for me, I think you should know her, know what's at stake or whatever. And so they have two very different motives. And then when he shows up drunk to the house,
stinking drunk with a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah, in my head I was thinking, that doesn't seem like the character on the second rewatch. It doesn't seem like his character to show up drunk somewhere like that. And then I realized, I forgot it's the anniversary of his daughter's, his late daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
So I was, and they just barely says it one time, and they never really reach on it.
Yeah.
He brings it up when the wife asks him about it. Asks him what, if he had a family or whatever, he's ever been married, but he doesn't harp on it and be like, actually today was her birthday.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so fucked up.
I like, but the subtle reaction that Maggie gives to Rust when he just says it so nonchalantly, she's like, "Do you have a wife and child?" And he was like, once.
Yeah,
and
he's very good at getting to the point.
Yeah.
He's like, he talks in poems.
He talks in poems.
Yeah. This is like a memory of a place that once existed.
Yeah.
Like people were here, but they never really were.
Now it's like
it used to be just a jungle.
Yeah, I love it, though. I love it.
He's like, why do you say shit like that, man?
Look, I just want you to stop saying odd shit.
Yeah. You ever sleep, Rust? I don't dream.
I don't sleep. I just
dream.
Oh my God. It gives me a boner even thinking about it. But,
hey, Tyler, do you ever worry that you're a bad man?
Nah, we're all bad men.
No, I don't, Marty. The world needs bad men.
To keep the other bad man at the door.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, this man is so awesome.
I know. He's a fucking phenomenal character.
But I really like the way that, like you say, he talks in poems. But I also like Marty's reaction because he kind of lives in, he's a people's person. So like he's kind of looking at him like, what the hell are you saying? And the way he does it, like he doesn't understand like the mental exhaustion that Rust like suffers from like on a daily basis. He doesn't sleep. He was undercover doing drugs and getting shot by the DEA for 4 years. And lost his wife and child. It just so, and that's why he says, he's like, I'm what you call a realist. In philosophical terms, it's what they would call a pessimist. Oh yeah, what's that, Russ? Or and he's like, I'm not good at parties.
Yeah, let's just say I'm not good at parties. No, it is.
I don't think you're good outside of parties.
Joseph has another couple comments. Number 1, so episode 4. We're going episode 1 to episode 4.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
well, I'm gonna go. We'll give some synopsis of each of these episodes, and we'll just do a quick run through.
Okay.
But Joseph says what got him interested in True Detective was he heard about the production of episode 4, which is a very long one take.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how long it is. I want to say it's something like 6 or 8 minutes or something like that.
I think it's like 6 minutes.
And they go into these projects. It's set in Louisiana, right? And they go to these projects, and essentially Cole at this point is gone back undercover with the old biker gang he used to run with.
Yeah, he's trying to find the meth cook.
Their one and only meth cook, who is their lead suspect at this point. And so he goes back undercover, and he's got to do a job with them, a B&E.
Yeah.
He's got to break into these other...
Like, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine, essentially.
Yeah. And they go into this whole thing. This is episode 4. And this phenomenal one take. I watched it again. I probably seen that one take probably 6 or 7 times. And I've seen more extravagant one takes. I've seen like bigger production one takes.
Yeah.
But the fluidity of the camera and the movement, there is a lot of moving pieces, but I don't know if any of it is not real. I don't know if there's any CG involved.
I don't think so.
Maybe a little like post-production sort of stuff, but a lot of the big one takes that, you see in stuff like Atonement, where they do that, like the big beach shot.
Oh, yeah.
The long sweeping beach shot. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of digital elements added in after the fact, because that's just a shit ton of extras in that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Listeners, prove me wrong. But that one take is what got Joseph involved, and Joseph being a production guy himself. And then he watched the series and loved it.
Yeah.
And then he also wanted to ask Tyler if you knew that McConaughey wrote a 400-page biography about his own character.
Yep, I did. It's not published though.
That's some bullshit.
Is it?
That is some bullshit.
Is it online? Because I did read about it and it said
No. I'm saying it's bullshit that it's not public.
Oh yeah. When I saw that, someone said that there was like he did like a huge essay on Rust, and I was like, and so I tried to find it, and no dice.
Can't find it. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that would be so cool to read. Do you want me to read the synopsis of the first episode?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Some 17 years after they worked on a case together, Rust Cole and Martin Hart, then with the Louisiana State Police Criminal Investigation Division, are re-interviewed about a case they worked together. They had only been partners for a few months when a naked woman's body was found in a farmer's field. She was posed kneeling before a tree with a crown of deer antlers on her head. The victim is identified as Dora Lang, who, as Cole had predicted, worked as a prostitute. Hart is a family man who does his best to get to know his new partner, but Cole reveals little of himself other than he is divorced and had a child who died. In the course of their investigation, they take an interest in another case, that of Marie Fontenot, a young girl who disappeared some time ago. They may have also found a link between the two cases. So, I mean, yeah, it's the first episode, so it's going to...
You're reading this like random person storyline.
Well, I mean, that's really what it is. That's.
I'm just curious.
No,
I'm just seeing where you got that from.
Yeah, from my IMDb. Yeah, I mean, like that's the setup. And
I like the fact that they're working on a number of cases at any given time. That's kind of interesting, because the case, and in reality, another great thing about the way this whole story is written is we don't know who the killer is. As opposed to something like Silence of the Lambs, where you're shown Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Kidnapping the girl, And then later on, they kind of run into each other, and you kind of know what's happening, and you have information that the detectives don't. In True Detective, you don't have any information the detectives don't.
No, you're going as blind as they are.
Yeah. The only difference is that since they've, in the present tense into 2012, they've already caught the guy, supposedly. At least that's what they're saying. You know,
Yeah.
how could we be still working on this case if we supposedly already caught the guy?
Yeah.
But, you know, so they do know more than we do in the 2012 world, but we're really not shown any of that stuff. So I really appreciated that. I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically the first episode, it's a huge setup. It shows more Marty's character flaws in this episode than Rust's. It just makes Rust in the first episode, it makes him look really mysterious.
Yeah.
And then it makes Marty look like a real piece of shit.
Well, Marty looks like a real piece of shit through the entire series.
Well, I mean,
I fucking hate Marty in this, and I'll give major credit to Woody Harrelson for this role because he's overshadowed all the time when you're talking about this show because Rust is such a great character.
Yeah,
McConaughey portrayed one of the greatest characters I think ever put to film.
Yeah,
but Woody Harrelson does such a great job with it because he's clearly driven in his job. But he's a piece of shit. He's an alcoholic. He's running around on his wife. He's lying to himself constantly about it, whether it's saying it's the right thing to do. And he's jealous when his mistress is trying to get with some other guy.
Oh my God, that scene was...
That scene's great. He's like, what are you going to go fuck that guy? And she goes, do you fuck your wife? He goes, that's different.
That's different, yeah.
I also thought it was funny when she breaks into the house and you're like, what a maniac. But then the one thing he cared about is whether she sucked his dick.
Did he suck your dick?
And the guy's response is perfect. I mean, a little bit. For a little while.
Yeah, he said a little bit. And then he's like, okay then. And then gets off of him.
I know. I just wanted to know. I just wanted some spank material for later.
Yeah. I mean, so I agree with you. I think Woody Harrelson's character does get a bit overshadowed.
He's a loser. He's a piece of shit.
I mean, at least on your first, if you're watching it for the first time, your attention is definitely on Rust. But like after this time around, well, even I think after the second time around, I really appreciated his character and how they portrayed damaged goods in people very realistically. And you get frustrated because you're like Marty, you have like the dream life. Like you have this really great job. You have a smoking hot wife with two beautiful girls. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
I know. He really is not.
He's a glutton for punishment. And so,
I think in all reality, I think that it's a power trip with him. Like he thinks he's above the law. He can do whatever he wants because he's a state trooper.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly what it was like when he ran into the hospital in episode 4 and is harassing his wife after she left him. And the doctor comes up and he's like, I'm state trooper. And you're like, are you hearing that physical capacity? Which is a very smart guy thing to say, from the doctor. But, like that's his MO is like, I'm a cop. I can do whatever I want,
I can. That's like when Rust...
My dad died, so I can be an asshole to you.
When Rust goes to that one prostitute's room and the girl is like, you seem dangerous. And then you can see Rust in like this in the light, like in her like light. And he's just like, because I am. I'm police.
Are you how hard would you get if a girl said that to you?
Are you? Oh my God. I would.
Tyler, you seem dangerous.
I couldn't contain myself. I would take her right then and there.
Yeah. Joseph also said in the chat, he thinks that you relate a little bit too much to Rust in 2012.
How? In what way? I'm not, first of all, I'm not in law enforcement. Second of all,
I don't think he is in 2012 either.
I mean, okay. Hey, I don't even know what
You're
to
even
say.
just speechless.
I'm speechless right now.
You romanticize the smoking. You romanticize the drinking.
I don't romanticize any of that.
Oh, yes, you do. Why don't you quit smoking or drinking?
Well, okay, we're not. This is about True Detective. This is not about my personal life.
I'm just telling you what Joseph said.
But threw me off. All
right, I'm going to read the synopsis for episode 2.
Okay.
All right. Cole and Hart continue interviewing family and friends of the victims they found in the farmer's field. They learned that she had moved to a trailer park and found religion. They found the church she attended now mostly burned out, but they also find something that links the church directly to their current case. Back at the office, they are faced with the prospect of being replaced by a task force. Cole tells his partner that he had a difficult time after his 2-year-old daughter was killed in a car accident. In the present-day interviews, it becomes obvious to both Cole and Hart that the detectives have found something new and are looking to blame someone for something.
Yeah. This episode kind of really gets the ball rolling because when the task force comes in, you kind of know something fishy is going on because they weren't even on the case for more than 2 weeks. And then they're already getting a task force from the governor, Edwin Tuttle. I think there might be a little bit too much subtlety when it comes in that regard of gaining clues for a general audience.
Well,
but you can tell based on how Rust emotes, he knows that something isn't right.
Well, Rust also is very anti-religion.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, that's good writing though.
Mm-hmm.
You give a little bit of a clue and you don't explain it to the audience, but you know you're going to pay it off later on down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 8 episodes to do it, so they can afford to do that.
Yeah.
I think that this is when, on my first watch through, this is when I first started thinking, what the hell is the end of this series going to be? Was Rust part of it? Did Rust? I thought on my first watch through that Rust had been like he'd gone actually insane and he maybe became a copycat killer or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the first time.
Wow.
Because I was like, this guy is fucking unhinged. And yes, he was fucked up back then.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's gone worse over time.
Yeah.
He's more loquacious as in his older age, but he just seems like he's in a worse place.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And he doesn't seem like a serial killer in 2012, but he just seems like he's in a worse emotional state. So I was kind of thinking that might be where it's going. And just the fact that they're like, there's a killer out there on this case. You guys already solved the case, supposedly. So either you guys apprehended an innocent man
Mm-hmm.
or something else is happening. And I'm like, that's when the story got even more interesting.
Yeah.
You already have the piece of shit main character who's not faithful to his wife.
Yeah.
The very interesting, oh, look, thumbs up. Yeah, let's see if he does it here too. Hey, there comes the balloons. We got the, what's it called? Is it going to do it? No, it's not going to do it. That's okay. The other weirdo character who's Matthew McConaughey, who you use just he's got a corrupted, past. It's ruining his present.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting, like seeing how the two of them deal with the trauma that they have in their life.
Yeah.
One of them deals with it by being a fucking piece of shit, and one of them deals with it by being a weirdo and in turning into a pessimist.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh, that's the kind of the basis of it. And then you have the serial killer trying to find the killer, and then you have this other missing person. All that's very interesting. And then it just compounds when you find out that they're maybe thinking there's something else happening 17 years later.
Yeah, and the cool thing, there's a scene in episode 2 where he gets found out, the stenographer who he was...
Stupping.
Yeah, who was...
Alexandria Daddario.
He was stenographing.
One of the most beautiful women on the planet.
Oh my God, she's so hot. But when she tells Maggie what's been going down, he cuts to him at a bar with Rust, and Rust is like, I found a connection to get to Reggie Ledoux, who they think is the killer.
Yeah.
And Marty keeps going on and on about, I can't believe this is happening, like just giving himself a pity party. And then
I'm going to tell you something. I don't want you to take offense, but this ain't my business. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
We got Ledoux. We got work to do.
Yeah. He's just like, we got work to do. And then he gets up, and as a sign of empathy, he pats him on the back and he says, I have a jacket that I think you might like.
And that's when he gives them the leather. They go get the leather jacket.
Yeah, that's what and then, I mean, there's like the little things that he shows signs of affection.
I suppose.
Because he's not an emotionally open guy. So when he's just like, come on, I got a leather jacket you'll like. And that's a way of him saying, let's go. I know you're hurting, but
I disagree. I think he's manipulating him just to get him to go to work.
Well, of course it's a positive manipulation.
But it's fake. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's fake. I think it's genuine, but
no. I don't think Russ gives a fuck about him. I think Russ has
Really?
yes, absolutely. I think Russ has complete disdain for Marty in the first part because Marty has what Russ lost, and Marty doesn't care that he has
You
it.
think so?
Absolutely. Why do you think he went and mowed his lawn?
See, now that
Rust.
I'm glad that you mentioned.
No, Rust
that.
wants to be a family man still. He wants the wife. He wants the kid or kids, and Marty has it. Marty does not give a fuck that he has it, and he takes advantage of it. So when Rust comes back and gives him his mower back, you're like, he could just give it back to him and buy him a case of beer, but he mows his lawn instead. He's like, as a thank you, as a favor, thank you. You did me a favor, I did you one too.
Yeah.
And clearly Marty didn't like the fact that he mowed his lawn. Clearly he didn't like the fact that he was spending time with his wife.
Well, I mean, look at his body. He's like in that wife beater. He's all greased up.
Well, sure, but the reality is with Marty's character, with Marty, he is a serial cheater. So people who cheat on their other partner are constantly thinking that their partner is cheating on them too.
Right.
So they're both thinking that, or he's thinking that at the same time, when in reality nothing's happening. But I think in reality, Rust is just happy that he can be pretending to be a dad for a moment.
That's a good way to put it.
And because of that one scene, and also the rest of all the interactions, whenever he's like, you're a piece of shit, is that what's his wife's name?
Maggie?
Maggie. Is that Maggie I smell on you? When they're in the locker room?
Yeah.
And he's like, you talking about my wife's pussy? And you're
No,
like,
he doesn't say. He says, you better wash up. I can smell pussy on you.
yeah.
And he's like, you talking about my wife's pussy?
And he goes, oh, is that Maggie I smell?
That's so weird. That's so weird.
It's creepy in a way, but at the same time, it's like, bro, I know that's not your wife you're banging.
Yeah.
I know you're running around. I know that you're wearing the same clothes from yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you're a piece of shit, and I do too.
Yeah.
I think that Rust has
Because
the ability.
one of the detectives says 3 nights in a row.
Yeah. I think that's more like he came in stinking drunk 3 nights in a row. But really the reality is, I think that Rust has the ability to acknowledge that Marty's a piece of shit, acknowledge that he doesn't particularly care for him, but also he needs him to get the job done, and he's his partner. So he can put that shit aside, where Marty doesn't have that. Marty doesn't like Rust to begin with because he says all this weird shit, and then he doesn't like him again because he's hanging out with his wife when he's not around.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't like him again because he calls him on his infidelity, and he's begrudgingly with him.
Yeah.
He only later, 17 years later in the interviews, does he say, yeah, as much of a weirdo as Rust was, he's a hell of a detective.
He was a good... This is Woody Harrelson always has...
Yeah.
He was a good detective.
Yeah. and a great box man. Great in the box.
Yeah.
When he's in the interviews.
But why did Russ need a lawnmower? He lived in a little townhouse. He didn't have a lawn.
I don't know.
Why would he need a lawnmower?
I don't know.
Explain yourself, Nick Pilazato.
Pilazato. All right, episode 3. Let's get to episode 3.
All right.
Let's see where we at here. All right. This one's called The Locked Room. All right, synopsis for this. Excuse me. Is a long one. All right, Cole and Hart continue their investigation. They track down the minister who used the church, but learned that they had abandoned it for some 4 months. The minister played by Shea Wiggum.
Yeah.
Fantastically portrayed by Shea Wiggum. They had abandoned it for some 4 months before it succumbed to the fire. The local authorities blame the fire on teenagers, but it's still an open case. Cole combs through the old files, searching for any connections to their current case, and he may have found a 2-year-old case that appears similar. He sets out to find the dead girl's boyfriend, Reggie Ledoux, who has a record and knew Charlie Lang in prison. Maggie Hart sets Cole up on a date. The 4 of them go to where Martin sees his mistress, Lisa, out on a date with someone else. In the present day, Cole explains his interrogation techniques, which even Hart admits is different but effective. Hart's recollection of his family life is somewhat skewed.
Yeah, so this episode was really interesting, mostly because you really get to see the inner machinations of Rust. He says, there's a line that he says in the present day interview, he's like, might as well put my insomnia to work. And that's where he's like working like all night to the point where his alarm on his watch goes off when he's looking at the DBs as they call them. And I thought that was really cool because he wasn't even on the clock doing that. He was just doing it on his own accord because if you look at his townhouse, there's a lawn chair, a mattress on the floor.
Yep.
a locker full of weapons and a
bunch of stacks of books,
a
cross on the wall, and a very small
mirror. Which I wonder. I never got the symbolism of that. I'll have to look it up. And then a bunch of pictures of dead women on his wall. Man,
hey, Tyler, before you move on, we got Angry Otter in the chat, our brand new Patreon member. Woo! Yeah, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for joining us on the stream. We're talking about True Detective Season 1, the first half of Season 1 right now, because Joseph's in New York. So anyways, real quick before you get back to that, I looked up the IMDb's top 250. Shawshank Redemption number 1 at 9.3. The Godfather number 2 at 9.2. The Dark Knight number 3 at 9.0.
Wow.
So it would fit in basically at number 3.
Wow.
At 9.1. But Breaking Bad is 9.6 as a whole.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
So this is just one season.
Yeah.
And True Detective, and you look at the actual show as a whole, that's 9.1. If you could break down season by season, maybe it would be a higher rate. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, yeah. So the show is 8.9.
Sorry, the whole show is 8. The whole show is 8.9, not 9.1. My mistake. But if you go into the actual episode by episode, episode 1, season 1 is
8.9.
8.9. Episode 2, let's see what this one is. 8.8. I'm gonna go to episode 4, which is the big one with the
9.1.
The big 9.6. 9.6 is the big one take.
God damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 3 is very heavy on Rust, and it was also, that was the episode where we were just talking about where Marty becomes psychotic and gets drunk and breaks down that poor girl's apartment door. She's just a stenographer. Like, how much do they pay? How much do they pay stenographers?
I'm sure stenographers get paid pretty well. You have to be very accurate. You got to learn how to use that stupid machine.
Yeah.
Why can't they just have a typewriter?
The shorthand.
Or a word processor or something.
I watched a YouTube on shorthand, and I could not wrap my head around it.
I've looked it up too, and it seems insane.
Yeah, it seems impossible. It's like you have to really immerse yourself. But yeah, so he breaks into that poor girl's apartment. The guy is probably scared shitless, half naked.
Yeah.
Or full nude. And he's sitting in her bed. He's like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do?
This insane police officer comes
throws him into a closet and breaking her door.
I love how Marty's excuse for everything is that he was drunk.
That's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
No.
Yeah. It's I mean it is an excuse. It's a shitty excuse. It's not a good reason.
Yeah, it's not a good reason.
He says that to his mistress when they see her at court, to Lisa. And he's like, I'm really sorry about that. I was drunk and emotional. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, no.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Anybody who says that, man, I was high when I said that. Like it doesn't matter. You chose to get high. You said those things. You did those things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I crashed my car into a school bus full of children and killed 3 people. I was drunk.
What do you expect?
What do you expect? I was drunk. If you're drunk and you're out in public and stuff and you do something stupid, that's your own fault.
The jury's like, no, oh, really? Okay, not guilty.
You're drunk. My bad. Okay, yeah.
Not guilty.
Absolved of all bad doing.
But yeah, episode 3 was really good, I thought. And then it's more focuses less on the case and more on the drama of the personal lives, which I thought I wouldn't like it when I first watched the show. Like when I was seeing like the drama between Marty and his wife and the mistress, and Russ kind of going into a insane descent over this case. I was afraid that it would be too much and not a lot of detective work, but I was pleasantly surprised that it's very balanced, where they should, like, when they show the detective work, like, it's really strong. And then when they show the personal drama between both of them, it's also really strong too, but subdued in a way where you're interested in it, but it's not the whole show. It's like an aspect of character development.
Well, that's one of the reasons why 7 works so well. And we're going to get into spoilers for 7. So any maniac who's not seen 7 for some god awful, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Who hasn't seen 7 yet? You really like Brad Pitt's character. You get to see him and Paltrow together. You get to see their like a new relationship, their new marriage.
Yeah.
They've moved into this shitty apartment with a subway that goes by all the time. And he just wants to catch bad guys, and you like him.
Yeah.
You really like him. So when that his family is torn up because of John Doe's actions and the emotion flies on the what's in the box scene, it really is impactful rather than just like anybody losing their wife or anybody losing their family or loved one or whatever, and the baby and she was pregnant. Oh my gosh. So all that really works, and David Fincher does a really job of cramming that into a very tight space. Yeah. Because in reality, you get the interaction between him and Morgan Freeman's character for a lot of it. So you get to know who he is, but you don't really like him because of that. You like him and you sympathize for him because of the time that you spent with Paltrow. Yeah. And the time that Morgan Freeman's character comes to their house. So I think that would probably be in real life, if you do have a partner, whether it's a police officer or a state trooper or whatever, you really do want them to know your family. You do want to know what's at stake so that you feel, and that's exactly the same thing that happens for the audience when you're watching this. We get to know Marty and Rust so well in this show that when shit hits the fan or they're in danger or his marriage is falling apart, you feel a kind of way about it. Yeah. You either feel like you feel the tragedy, or you feel like, well, good, fuck Marty. Good for Maggie, so she got away. Michelle Moynihan deserves way better than Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's absolutely batting out of his league through the entire thing.
I don't know, with all these attractive women throwing themselves at him, I never understood it.
It's power, baby.
Yeah.
It's power.
Oh, yeah, that's in a later episode. I'll talk about that later. But
yeah, what you're talking about, the balance between the personal drama and the
actual casework.
The casework is a very, very good balance, and I think that's what makes this season so good, because I watched season 4 of this, and it's like, I mean, I liked a lot of that. I still think it was good. I don't think it was bad, but it's nowhere
really.
Near. Yeah. I know that you didn't like it at all, but anyway, so episode 4. The finale of this episode,
the highest rated episode,
halfway point of the season, called "Who Goes There?" Synopsis goes like this: the detectives continue their search for Reggie Ledoux, but an opportunity arises when Hart learns that Ledoux is cooking for meth for a drug-dealing motorcycle gang known as the Iron Crusaders. Cole knows them well, having had dealings with the gang during the 4 years he worked as an undercover narco officer. He decides that the only way to move the case forward is to take 2 weeks of personal time, citing a dying father, and unofficially go undercover, off book. He soon hooks up with his old contacts, the Iron Crusaders, but it's clear that regaining their trust isn't going to be easy. At home, meanwhile, Hart runs into major problems while his wife, Maggie, learns of the affair with Lisa. In the present day, the detectives interviewing Cole and Hart can't quite understand why, having found a major lead in the case, Cole would suddenly take 2 weeks leave. He didn't want them to know that he worked off book.
Yeah.
Period.
I mean, they already didn't want him there. They didn't want Rust there. The only reason why Rust was there is because he was undercover for so long and he was owed a bunch of favors. So
who doesn't want him there?
The captain, all the detectives.
You talking about 95?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in 95 when this is all going down. He was already not wanted there. He was like an outsider. He was from Texas.
I was gonna say he's from out of state. I'm sure Louisiana people and Texas people hate each other.
Yeah, probably.
Just like we hate everyone from Nevada.
Yeah, he'd stay in that desert.
Yeah,
but I think that he wouldn't get permission to go undercover to
he wouldn't.
This lead. So
absolutely not.
So that's why I think that he was.
He had to fake that he's going to visit his dying dad.
And it's so funny when he gets the cocaine from the evidence locker. And he like changes it with a bag of flour. And he's like, when he's walking out of the evidence room, he's like, they got to find a better system for this.
I know it for real.
I was like,
reminding me of the evidence room from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Except for in that one, there's nothing in it, but just no one cares. The password's 1111.
Yeah. I mean, I got to imagine like back in the day, that's kind of how evidence rooms were, because the guy who had the key,
he's just reading a magazine.
He's like, can I get the key to the evidence room?
Hey,
sure, just sign the log.
Henry, give me the key to the evidence.
Sign the
log. Yeah.
Just doesn't.
Hey, I heard you're taking some time. I got to go visit my pops.
He's dying.
Leukemia. Yeah. But anyways, I think that I really was rooting for Maggie in this, the wife.
Oh yeah.
And then when the mistress comes to the house, you don't see it, but you hear the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
She came to our house, Marty. I had to explain to the girls who she was.
Yeah.
She's trashy. You're trashy. And I was like, I don't know. Alexander Daddario doesn't seem trashy.
I mean, I think she did.
Cheating with a married man is trashy, but
Yeah, that is. But I think she did the right thing, even though Maggie doesn't have to forgive her for it. You have to give her some respect for coming forward and saying, okay, like this is what happened.
she still needs to take her comeuppance though for cheating. I mean, the answer is obvious. Who's worse in that scenario? Woody Harrelson's character is worse.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who actually is married.
Yeah.
But she's almost as bad because she's doing it on purpose and she knows.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're cheating with a married person,
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. And even if they're like, well, we're on the outs, cool, call me when you're divorced.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, it would be different if she didn't know, and I'm suspecting that she didn't know at first, and then she found out, and then she was just like, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if
I'm not gonna speculate on that. But what I would like to say is the whole motorcycle club scene. That was really cool.
Oh, hey, there's people in the chat. We got Ryan's in the chat, Jack's in the chat. What's up?
Hey.
Jack's from the other side of the world, but it's sleep time. No bail. What are they? No Bali? So bye.
Tyler, I
so
feel
bye.
like I should post the Titanic meme for that comment. It's been 84 years.
What's up, Ryan? I haven't seen Ryan in the chat in a minute.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? But anyways, the episode 4 kind of culminates in, for one,
that's where it really picks up, like towards the end.
I feel like this is the first time that Marty and Rust have become a real unit.
Yeah,
and he trusts Marty, and Marty trusts him, and the stakes are very high. And there's a very intense scene when Rust is talking about, well, the worst that can happen, catch a bullet to the head, and that's it. You know, that it could be a lot worse. When I was in Cartel.
Yeah, and he describes.
I'm not going to go through it because you got to watch it. But he describes a very violent way that someone was killed when they were found to be either a traitor or undercover or something.
Yeah,
and he's like, bullet to the head's nothing.
Yeah,
that's nothing.
Yeah.
So he goes into full tweaker mode. He's shooting speed. He's snorting coke.
No, he doesn't shoot speed. He shoots up cayenne and ink.
I'm not talking about that. He's in other points in the episode. He's snorting anything they give him.
Yeah,
which is fine because he needs to get undercover.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine doing that.
I doubt that.
What?
You've had more stuff go up your nose than anybody I know.
Yeah. I'm not going to comment on that.
No comment.
But yeah, he was doing copious amounts of drugs. And Matthew McConaughey, of course, there's that famous meme of him smoking a cigarette and his eyes going wide.
I saw that frame and I'm like, yes, there it is.
I know, it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. There it is.
There it is. But I like Marty's move when he thinks Rust is in trouble and he goes and he goes, I'm looking for my friend.
With that dumbass hat.
I know.
It does not look like he belongs.
I was like, what is he doing? He's going to get killed. And he was quick to think on his feet because he goes, I think my friend's in there. He's 20 years sober and I don't want him to drink or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I could see that being the reason why you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, but read the room there, boy.
But still, he's trying to save his friend from getting killed, his partner from getting killed. So, and then you just see Rust going off on a boat with all these guys, and you're like, God damn, he's going to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And then you get the glorious long one take.
Yes.
The oneer. And one shot, I should say, not one take. And that's really fantastic. I don't really want to ruin any of what that is, but it plays out in glorious fashion. It's so fucking tense.
Yeah, it is. You're really on the edge of your seat.
There's a number of times they could have got caught up or whatever. And, you know, the really cool thing is when he calls Marty from the phone, he's like, I need you to meet me at Riviera between 18th and 19th in 90 seconds. And then he just leaves the phone. He's
like, 18 and 19th.
Yeah.
And Ginger's like, oh, what the fuck, man?
I know.
I knew it, you rat bastard.
I just didn't get why Ginger was still like going along with it. They get to the fence and he just starts climbing the fence.
Well, I mean, because if he was left behind, like
He died in the race war.
He'll die. He'll die. So he's like, might as well go.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah. So
then
certain death this way, Crash maybe.
And then
His name's right, Crash?
Yeah, Crash.
Crash.
Yeah, I'd rather go with Crash than die in gunfire. But my favorite line is when they get into the back of Marty's car and he's questioning him. And then Russ says, I'm so fucking tired of talking to you like a man. Boom, right to the head.
Right. Pow, right in the kisser.
That was such a badass line. Like, because when you think about it, when he's undercover, like he's surrounded by people that he just straight up despises.
Yeah.
So for him to just be like, just let that curtain go
and be able to just really give it to him.
Yeah.
So anyway, that brings us to the end of episode 4, halfway point of the show.
So next week we'll review the last half of the season.
Yeah, that's right. New Yo-Yo player's back, and he says, I'm the only one whose favorite season is number 2.
Oh my God, get out of here. I do like the noir aspect of it, but
I know at least one of our listeners, confirmed listener, does not like True Detective.
Who?
I cannot say.
Why?
Because I can't.
Why?
But I do know this person has not finished the entire season 1. Watched a couple episodes and then
who is this person?
Never finished. So I think it's worth hearing out.
Do they listen to the show?
I just said confirmed listen to the show. I guarantee.
God.
They may be listening, not live now, but when this goes out on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I would encourage this listener who doesn't like the show or doesn't like True Detective to give it a shot. It's on Max.
Yes.
Pick it up. Maybe the first couple episodes you could put in the background since you might have seen it before, but finish it out because the finale is something.
Yeah.
And you think episode 4 has its own mini finale with this like one shot, and then you kind of get a little bit more of a one, and then you get a real finale in the final. And brother, this is a finale. So I'm really excited to talk about the second half of season 1 next week.
Yes, I am too.
Speaking of that, though, I'm going to be going to the Film Vault live show next weekend.
You are?
Yes, in LA.
Oh, you lucky SOB.
I'm just driving down there.
You're driving?
Yeah.
You're not going to fly?
Why would I fly? It's
a couple hours.
It's like 6 hours to drive there.
It is not 6 hours to drive to LA.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not. It's more like 7.5 to 8 hours. Don't Google it.
Los Angeles
drive time.
CA map. Let's see here.
Just do it on your phone.
Oh yeah, that would probably be easier. Yeah, so I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna get to meet some of the people from Cinematics that I've never met before.
That would be fun.
Me and Eric are staying in a B&B together. Eric Holmes. Let's see here. Waze. Let's look up Waze. Did I ever tell you about my app idea?
What?
It's a version of Waze, except for it's for like lakes and rivers. It's called Waves. Yeah. So you go on a lake and you could be like, oh, there's a rope swing over here. This cove is good for inner tubing. It's a good spot. There's a floating porta potty over here. That sort of stuff.
Never heard of that before.
You've never seen that floating porta potty?
No.
Yeah, it's a real thing. 4 hours, 51 minutes.
No way it's 4 hours.
I'm look at the chat.
There's no way it's 4 hours.
4 hours, 51 minutes. That's 5 hours.
Okay. I don't.
If I were to leave now, I could get there at 8 o'clock. So it says 8:04.
I don't know.
And that's driving the speed limit. That's what Waze puts in the speed limit. So
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, when you're a kid, you think 8 hours.
Yeah.
But in reality, as an adult, if you don't stop and fuck around and have lunch twice and have the kids to pull over and pee and go sightseeing and this and that, you could get down there in 6 hours. But if you're talking about San Diego, that's more like 10 hours, 8.5 to 10, depending on what part of San Diego County you're in and what time if you have to drive through the shitty traffic.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the reason I bring that up is number one, any of our listeners that are also fans of the Film Vault or fans of cinematics and this crossover universe that we live in. If you're going to be at the live show, come say hi. I'll be there. I'll probably be hanging out with Eric Holmes most of the time because we're going to be staying together. But it'll be a good chance to meet Anderson for the first time, Ball Bryan, and I think there's going to be a couple other people down there. Hopefully, I'll see Greg Sersabasti.
Well, that should be a great time.
He's like one of those desert flowers that only blooms once a year. You have to catch him just in the right time. So I think I can catch him.
Yeah.
But anyways, all that being said, the show's on Sunday, but I want to go down there on Saturday. So I'm thinking, depending on what your Friday looks like, maybe we can do a late night episode on Friday.
I'm down.
You down with that?
Yeah. I just if I don't get off too late.
I mean, that's the thing.
It just really depends.
I mean, maybe you could talk to your boss and be like, "Hey, I got a hard out at 6 o'clock."
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna be
Just
like,
ask them. How often do you ask them to change your schedule?
They're just gonna say, how many packages do you have? So and so amount. Yeah, no.
Just tell them you need something local. Say, I don't want to deliver in Napa. I need it to deliver in Sac. That way I can get out by 6 o'clock or whatever.
It just doesn't work like that.
You can ask. All they can say is no.
Yeah, okay, I will ask.
But if you go in on Monday and say that on Friday, say, hey, I got an appointment. I got to be hard out at 6 o'clock. So can I get a local route? Can I start earlier in the day or something like that? And if they say hard out at 6 and you actually get out at 7 o'clock, who cares? Go home, take a shower, come over here.
All right.
We'll do a late night stream.
Okay.
Anybody on the East Coast it'll be like 1 a.m. for you. But maybe Jack will actually be able to
Oh yeah, he might be awake.
Yeah, it'll be Saturday morning for him or some shit. Saturday afternoon. So anyway, next week we're gonna do a modified stream. We'll figure all that out.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of play it by ear. And then and then after that, Friday night, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll wake up Saturday morning really early and just bomb my way down to LA.
Ah, lucky SOB.
Spend the night down with Eric, snuggling all night, and then
Snuggle.
And then Sunday we'll do the live show, and then I'll come.
It'll be like Bert and Ernie watching some movie.
Bert,
what do you want to watch?
Can you give me a glass of water, Bert? Anyways, so that'll be next week, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, new yo-yo player says he loves the Film Vault. Sweet. Cool. It is. I'm telling you, it is a crossover universe.
I know. We're a part of it.
Oh, speaking of our crossover universe, Force 5 podcast, I was a guest on them with Jason this last Wednesday. I did a recording. Topic was 5 great movies with characters' names in the title.
Oh.
Yeah, not top 5 movies. So we highlighted some lesser known movies. Not all hidden gems, but some hidden gems that you may never have seen or heard of. And that's going to be coming out in a couple weeks.
Sweet.
I think like 2 or 3 weeks from now. But yeah, always a fun time with Kleberg. So anyways, anything else, Tyler, you want to say?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan Corbin, and Chris. And if you want to join us on Patreon, please go to patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. You can support us there, or you can just watch us on the YouTube.
Yeah.
We have the stream every Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Next week, it'll be slightly different. But if you just subscribe, youtube.com/@middleclassfilmclass, and just hit the notifications, and you'll get a notification when we go live.
Yeah.
The live streams are a lot of fun. But you don't have to do the live stream. You can also just tune in on every Monday when the podcast comes out. The YouTube video comes out too. Mm-hmm. Watch it there instead of on the podcast, and we get a little bit of kickback from that.
A little scratch.
Yeah, that's all right. So, anything else?
That is it.
All right. Until next time. Thank you to everybody again in the chat. Joseph for popping in while he's in New York. Follow us next week as we cover the last half of season 1 of True Detective, and much to Tyler's delight. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/middleclassfilmclass, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail with the number in the show notes, because I still have not memorized it, even though I say it every week.
Yeah, follow us everywhere. It's either MCFC Podcast or Middle Class Film Class. It's all in the show notes. All right, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later.
See you later. That's a wrap.
Great show.